let us continue our adventure. So, yeah. We've been wandering around in the Twin Elms region. We've fought a dragon and fled. I guess we've talked our way through a dragon encounter. We've seen all sorts of elf-human violence, and also included our own contribution to that violence, all sort of in the name of these little side quests that we've picked up. I think the game is trying to give you some context about how, like, because we've been hearing about the war, or the several wars between the Glenfathans. Also, if you listen carefully when I'm quiet, you might be able to hear it's hailing. It's hailing really loud right now, and I have hailstones bouncing off the windows, so hopefully it adds to the ambiance rather than detracts. I'm sorry if it's a distraction. I'm gonna make my way into Ter Everon now. I want to continue the main quest.
Of course.
So we'll pass by these obnoxious druids, and we'll climb down into this area where we're supposed to be praying to the gods. The Hall of Stars, Ter Everon. Wow, that's a lot of books. Okay, here we go. Whoa.
Magnificent.
Dag.
Ready. Understood.
That's pretty cool. Wow, he was so excited, he leveled up. Good work. Wild Strike, Burn, Shock, Freeze, Corrode. Cool. I'm gonna give him corrosion damage when he's in wild form. Well, okay.
Sure.
Come on, Piglet. Snarling Hound. Fangs bared. No. What's this one? Nothing for Wodica. Pray to Hyleia. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. Alright. So this is the thing where I'm supposed to know, like, how to pray to each of the individual deities. All right, so this is Hyleia's shrine. So we know that she is the goddess of. Oh God, am I gonna actually have to read these books? Okay, all right, let's go see where the Book of the Hunt, the Sermon of Struggle. This is in my grand's book. Midwife's Memoirs. Here we go. So this is Hyleia's court. Alright. The real Temple of Hyleia. She stands not on ceremony, makes herself manifest in the music of birds, the beauty of the ubiquitous open sky. Yeah, maybe I'll just go look and see what Hyleia. All things can be reforged. This is one about a song. Yeah, okay. Live every note of life song. I think that probably makes the most sense for her. Ring in the air, your voice rendered melodic and lilting by some unseen art. Yeah, I prayed. I prayed good. Barath. Ooh. Grim shape of a skull. There is life in death, and death in life. Maybe? Let's see what Barath has to say. This one? No. Utica. Read that one already. McGran. Abaddon. No, this is the, so Skaen is the whip-choking one. Let's see if there's a Skaen. Rimmergand. Is there a Skaen altar that I can pray to? Whale. No. Okay. So I need to find Rimmergand and Barath and Galloway. There you go. Many faces of Barath. Yeah, there we go. There is life in death and death in life. Alright, Barath. That's what I thought. There's a rippling shift in the air around you as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence and of eyes upon you. Oh, I got a cinematic out of that one. You kneel and pray to Barath. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon on your left only to rise on your right. You try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with mist, the other a sheer canyon wall. For an instant, you see the waves lapping at the edge of the road. Were you to step onto the shifting landscape, you feel certain you'd only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet and the night air cool on your face. You're walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Benwen Yanku and Anku Benwen, two of the oldest representations of Barath. You remember the door to Cleobad and Relag and the two figures carved in the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male, the other vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway is not what you saw in the ruins. It's a skull, gaping and jawless. Inviting you in. Yeah, I'm going to enter the skull's mouth. The road continues through the mall to another shifting landscape surrounded by stars. As you pass through, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it, unmoving. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate you just passed. An elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. So she's a tree lady. She lifts her face to an invisible sun, her long golden hair. I have literally, like, straight up, no idea what I'm doing. Like, okay, I'm getting these weird visions, and they don't mean anything to me. I'm not sure, what I'm supposed to be doing. She gives you I'm making choices without any information. Gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path, and almost immediately new leaves sprout. Come, graft your soul to the golden grove. Sure, okay. Her arm petrifies, and a rough stone bark overtakes her flesh. You break away from her brittle gasp. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. Her petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It creeps up her neck. She throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The grayness covers her face, freezing her gasp in stone. Only the golden leaves in her head remain untouched, and as you watch, they fall one by one to the path below. Let's go talk to the dwarf. You continue down the road toward him. He looks as you approach. You can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid, like a scepter, as if the flesh is detached from the muscles underneath. As you look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corner of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corner of his lips. His jowls sag, and the loose flesh hangs like dough. Gross. He raises his cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself from his newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin, the fresh wrinkles disappear. Flesh wrinkles. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid, blah, 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 hanging folds recede. His flesh tightens as if readhering to his skull. He lifts his head, and this time you know he's looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, his black eyes are two hungry pits, yawning like the empty mouths of skulls. Sure, I'll take your hand too. You grab his hand, but his skin gives too easily under your grip. As you try to pull away, you hear a noise like dry canvas tearing. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forth in such quantities you can't imagine there was ever anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleams with 1,000 souls' worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now that he is dead can you continue forward. The blood pools around your feet. The voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You look up and see the skull gate ahead of you. The candles of Ter Everon wink through the open mouth. Kill some people. That is my quest. Thanks, Barath. So I didn't get one from Hyleia. Here we go. You kneel. While you pray, you feel the space around your body shift and melt, and you find yourself in a vision among a mountaintop temple. A tree grows in the center of the ancient ruins. Its limbs wrap around the perimeter of the temple, tapering into twigs and branches of all sizes and angles. They seem long and too numerous to be held up by the meager trunk. They hold steady in the breeze. A single sparrow lands on the nearest branch. It watches you. Whistle to the bird. You whistle the first tune that pops to your head. The sparrow blinks its beady eyes and hops closer to you along the branch. It bobs its tiny head and opens its beak, and the rich, trilling melody that spills forth is the song of a chorus of birds. A massive flock descends with thundering of wings and whooping, screeching, chirping calls. They fill the boughs of the trees by thousands, birds of every shape, size, and color, nestling next to one another. Birds from every corner of the world. Look, I see some Rawatai razorbills. Griffin wants to get involved. A breeze ripples through the air. The limbs sway, creaking with a strange, gentle rhythm. A few hundred of the birds flit from their branches, forming a brilliant, variegated flock in front of the tree. As they meet and swoop in unison, you catch a glimpse of someone looking back at you, cloaked by the flurry of feathers. Look there, the mantle of feathers. We're in the court of birds, and there stands the Sky Mother.
You journeyed to my temple and found the dragon. Yet instead of driving it off, you allowed it to stay. The songs of my faithful will never again fill the nest. And the beast and her young will slaughter many to feed their hunger.
Dragons, like your birds, are creatures of the skies. Every life bears a cost.
Yes, and each should create wonders of commensurate value. What does a dragon create?
I like that I have some poetic options. Fire, it consumes but powers creation. Death brings an end to what is old, what is weak, and run its course. Beauty, great and powerful and colorful, they're a marvel to behold. Or I can be a total idiot and just make more dragons. Big dragons create baby dragons. I'm gonna say beauty.
Their might inspires countless songs and tales, and the span of their wings fills canvases across Aora. And you are one whose soul is filled with the same passionate energy. Indeed, you are the right person to end this tragedy.
I came to you for aid. I need to get to Sun in Shadow. The birds return to the tree and nestle among their peers. The breeze ripples through the branches again, carrying the goddess's voice.
Yes, but not only to stop Theos, to undo the tragedy he has wrought.
Birds all over the tree begin to chirp and sing, and in the rise and fall of their voices, Hyleia speaks. Theos acts, but is moved by another. The exiled queen whispers in his ear, urges him to rob the living and the unborn of their souls for her benefit, and he has obeyed. She will consume them, grow powerful, while 1,000 empty children are born. But there's still time to reverse this tragedy. How would I return things the way they were? Birds fall silent. Guide the trapped souls back to the bodies they were stolen from, hollow-born children whose eyes have never seen the sun. You could restore them, give their families hymns of joy after years of lament. Peace and restoration give purpose to suffering. There is no meaning, no redemption in pain that does not lead to fulfillment. Symmetry demands great rejoicing follows suffering such as this. Thank you, Hyleia. I will continue to Sun and Shadow.
When you reach the burial isle, you will find souls there that I have granted reprieve for their sins. I give these to you, for only they can bear you to safety on your journey down. And when you face Theos and the rotting fruits of his endeavors, remember the conversation we have had. In that moment, you will have power rivaling a god's. And after it, You will live in the world that you have chosen. Choose Restoration, Watcher. Return the souls to the bodies they were stolen from. Swear to me that you will do this, and I shall give you power to make even Woodica quake.
Great
I
wings,
can be
dark against the
merciful
sun,
and terrible, Watcher.
unfold behind the tree, casting a blinding shadow across the temple for the briefest of moments. I would hear what the other gods have to say first. Hear then and choose. I mean, I kind of want to go with the bird lady, because, you know, bird lady. My other choices are what? Rimmergand and Gallowayne, the beast god, or Bareth. Yeah. Let's see what Durance has to say.
What? What is it, Watcher?
What does what we learned about Woodica trouble you?
It stinks of her. It is justice, but if her greater purpose was to think Margaret would fall prey to such deceit. And Aethys. Widewind had always claimed to be invading Deerwood to free it. What if it were true? What if he had come to stop Woodica's plot before it began?
Oh, turns out you're a
Surely
sucker.
Aethys earned his death at Godhammer Citadel, but not for those reasons. Not to keep him silent. If such a thing has brought about this chaos, must we always be tools of gods? If Woodica and Margaret, if they are the cause of this, the Hollowborn, if the purges were never necessary, if Aethys was fighting back, so many lies, and Woodica, perhaps she is the next god to fall beneath the Godhammer.
Yeah, let's just make 1,000,000 Godhammers and kill all the gods.
No, I am glad to have walked this far with you, seen this truth. Perhaps it was what I was meant to see, with a Watcher's eyes. All these dances of words and intrigues, machines of men, twisted, ripping the souls of children, and by the gods, the goddess of justice. If I could end her like Aethys, Margaret burned her once. One can do so again. Woodica, she must answer to her own justice.
Justice, Durance? Or revenge?
Anyone with a shred of spirit seeks both justice and punishment. It burns in the heart of anyone who lives. All seek it. If the world does not balance, we all drown in the oceans. And the gods would not care. Margaret, she must be redeemed. And punishing Woodica, that will serve.
Do we know that Magron was not a willing accomplice?
Is this some final joke at my expense? To test my faith further? And why would you think that, Watcher?
The others who made the Godhammer, they all died, didn't they? That's why I saw their symbols fade from your staff.
If all you have are questions, then I have enough of those. She is a bitch of a goddess, to be sure. But even a whore only goes so far in crossing those she serves.
You said you left Ashfall without telling anyone of your departure?
You answer a question with a question. Then why did I feel her disappointment at Halgot? Why were we shamed?
Because I think she tried to kill you there.
Kill me? She is a goddess. I still drink from her burning breasts, Watcher. If she wished me dead, she could trace me to my source and kill me.
In the dream of the Godhammer, your spirit looked blurred, indistinct in the light, as if it had been sheared from you. If you had been damaged, as I saw in the Godhammer vision, then she may have been unable to see you as you once were. Durance turns from you a moment, his face twists in thought, conflicting emotions running across his features. Finally he turns to you, his face steady.
There's no proof, Watcher. I was a fool to think you could help me see any farther than I could.
If you don't trust me, then trust your staff. Admit that the other Godhammer builders are dead. Griffin agrees with me. Durance turns to the staff, and for a moment you see his eyes burning, taking in the edges of the wood, the symbols inlaid there, the 11 faded circles.
They died in the blast, yes. The other 11. I was the only one to walk away. I thought, we had wronged our goddess. That this was my trial, and if I could prove myself worthy of her, I should have known better. There is only one God of redemption, and I saw him ended.
He studies the staff. You feel a wave of heat, a terrible energy rolling forth from it in waves. So much so, it feels as if the Godhammer itself is alive in his hands. And past it you hear a cry, like a child being born, and your eyes feel the flash of white, then 100 imagined shades of purple and white, streaming and circling into the howling of a storm. And beneath it, the grinding of ancient machines of stone, rock, and metal, grinding and turning until all you feel as if it's burning, sinking into the shadows of the earth, beneath the ground, the only place where a spirit might find refuge. When your vision clears, you see Durance, his hands clutching the staff, and his eyes are bright, burning red. Atop the staff, the flame burns cleanly, brightly. As his gaze burns, he rips his gaze away and howls, a bellowing, horrid howl, like a wounded animal, and sweat pours down his brow. We can see the justice is served to her and Woodaka both.
To think I served her, I followed her. Now I shall serve no one. Woodaka's lies must be answered. And now it seems I must take fire and war from a goddess's false claim as well. I still take from her strength as I did, for as long as it lasts. For I shall not cast her aside yet, until I have drained her dry and had my fill, just as she intended for.
I love it. I love the, cleric stealing power from his god.
For I have learned one of the lessons of the faithful. The faithful may wound a goddess greater than any enemy. A purification is coming, and this fire shall consume them both.
Let's continue on. Yes. Cool, I completed the Trials of Durance. Way to go, D-Slice. You're doing it. Alright, cool. So let me talk to Bird Lady. I will return the Hollowborn children. Makes sense. And I shall remember. The dark wings snap shut, and the tiny sparrow flits to your shoulder. Tiny sparrow. It tilts its head back and opens its beak, and the song that spills forth is like nothing you've ever heard. Melodies, at once mournful and beautiful, entrance you. The world becomes a place of pure color and sound. Each perfect moment follows the next like the lines of a poem. Or the bar of a song. You awaken as if from a dream. Standing in Ter Evron, Hylea's song and the power of her blessing follows you still. Rad.
Hey.
What is up, main quest? Go to the burial isle. Go to the council. So I've got some other little minor quests and stuff, but I'm gonna just carry right on. Oh, John Bond GSR. Thank you for your subscription. Welcome to Math Squad. I've just joined the. I've sworn myself to service of the bird god in honor of Griffin.
Stop right there.
Criminal scum. Okay, I've stopped.
You're in the wrong city, Inquisitor. Did you think you wouldn't be recognized here in your old home? I've seen your trials with my own eyes.
I've seen you light pyres with good people tied to them, people I'd known many a year. He seizes you by the throat, and your airway tightens. Whether real or imagined, you cannot tell. They deserve your confession. He raises the point of his sword, holding it a hair's breadth from your eye. Yeah, my eye.
Suros, what are you doing?
Hey. Got a little... Alright. Startled, the soldier releases you immediately and turns to face the speaker, a woman in a plain wool tunic, fully a head shorter than he, but somehow seeming to tower over him. You've seen this woman's face before, but from afar, bloodied and burned as she lay stretched across an iron wheel. At the moment, it's marked only with concern.
An assassin sent by the Inquisition, my lady, daring to approach our camp.
If she's so poor an assassin as to approach an armed guard in daylight, I should have little to fear. I would hear what this woman has to say. She stares him down till he can no longer face her. He turns away, sour-faced. and pretends to be suddenly distracted by something far off.
Surely this is some trick of my mind. I did not expect to see you again.
Grand Inquisitor Theos Ix Arcanon dispatched me to spy on you. Are things as desperate as that over there? I'd never have known. I hope your next assignment is more stimulating. Listening to my lectures is dull work for a spy. Cool, you're here to assassinate me? Well, it's going to be boring for you, so enjoy that. I hope there might be another reason, but you're here and that's good enough on its own. Whatever your reasons, I've missed you over all these years. Having you here now at a time when I'm surrounded by strangers is a wonderful gift. I would like you to stay here.
I would like for you to stay
Fine.
here in our camp
Game.
as my guest.
My Lady Ivara, I beg of you. This is an Inquisitor. This is a desperate attempt on your life. The only way it can succeed is if you allow it to.
This is a missionary, same as I was, taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one woman's ability to reason, once she knows the truth, what hope do we have?
My lady, she admits being a spy.
That should make her less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us. We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. They know as well as I do that my cause will not die with me.
Take my life, please.
Come. We have much to talk about.
Well, thanks, cutscene.
Hey.
Thanks so much for all that. Yes, Griffin, I know. I'm getting on with the bird quest. Don't worry.
Hey.
So I need to make my way to that.
You
that
must gather
dungeon.
your party before venturing forth.
Get there from Old Song, maybe? Bird for the bird god. Eggs for the egg throne. Yeah, let's take this Viking-looking longboat over there.
Hey. Of course.
Oh, Jesus, purple stuff.
Will do.
Hey.
Well, that was, unexpected / unpleasant.
I hope our duties won't require us to linger too long.
Why? I mean, I'm gonna check this out while I'm on my way. Because there's probably a quest in here. Because there's quests everywhere. Welcome to Noonfrost. Most of the temple is currently closed for sacred ceremonies to Rimmergand. Why is most of the temple closed? Sacred ceremonies. Goodbye. I don't care. I have a god now. I serve the bird god.
So, Kana, what do folks in Rawatai do for fun? Aside from each other? Do you just gape at every shiny object that comes along? Or is that just what you do when abroad?
Takoa may be more traditional, but it has its share of festivals. Drink a little wine, find someone to dance with.
Wine and dancing? Oh, guess I had it all wrong. So, no shark races and undersea orgies?
No, that's all true.
Shark races and undersea orgies. It's all I ever wanted.
What brings you here?
What is this burial isle? It is a sacred place, for it sits upon the great works of the builders. There by our ancestors all our animfaths are laid to rest. If you go there, my friend, it is not a place where the living walk. Take me across. Hell yes, let's do it. Court of the Penitents. Alright, let's see what's up.
This does look like Theos' kind of place.
Of course. Purple stuff.
Do you remember when we were children, and the missionaries came to tell us about the gods? They told us we could see them in the stars. I remember when I heard that, I snuck out at night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because I wanted to see them better. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries out. It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame. There was history in that fort.
It'd do a lot worse if they were returned. Those missionaries are all Inquisitors now. Strange to think they're the same people underneath, but I suppose you would know. This is your home as much as it is mine. Do you worry about it? Our being here puts Kratom at risk. Wish I could say I thought otherwise, but hearing someone else says it helps settle some things in my mind.
I miscalculated many things since this began.
Interrupt.
I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf.
Okay.
I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies in a stronghold that can resist an invading army.
Have you thought about Oceanus?
Oceanus.
Oceanus.
They have held off many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen?
Purple. What the hell was that? Just random purple things flying into me. I'm collecting purple orbs. I feel like I'm in, like, God of War. Oh no! Quigra!
The angry one is down.
Wow.
Someone might want to check on him. The angry one is down. Someone might want to check on him.
I know. I know he's dead. I'm sorry that you died so fast, Durance. That was embarrassing for all of us. Okay, so how many screens between here and when Durance gets injured? You venture through a doorway into an underground tunnel. A staircase coils upwards, leading to a dim passage. On the upper level, light filters through the collapsed ceiling. A wall of piled stones and rubble blocks the way ahead. Clear the rubble with a pry bar. You wedge your pry bar against a large stone and put all your weight into it. Your efforts dislodge the boulder, and it rolls free with a heavy groan. Other slabs and chunks of debris begin to break away. The massive pile creaks and rumbles, threatening to loose 1,000 pounds of stone around you. As the debris tumbles down, you lunge through the narrowing gap. However, Heravius isn't fast enough and disappears behind the passing rocks. Heravius emerges from a cloud of dust, hunched over and trailing tender ribs. Ah, Durance isn't the man anymore. Now it's little guy. Light breaks into the tunnel up ahead, growing brighter as you continue. Soon the passage ends, opening up high on the cliffside of Burial Isle. Now it's just a shortcut that involves this guy getting bruised ribs. Great. Ooh, Girdle of Jotun Constitution. Okay, well. Here you are, friend. Have a girdle.
Hey.
No, I don't want to go back down there. No! Why? Back up we go. Okay.
Hey.
Towering stone horns look sharp enough to saw through lumber. Oh, that's a scary looking monster.
Yes?
Huh?
That didn't work! Need to try something else!
Just like an adherent to go down. Stuck.
Kinda stucco.
Well, this is going well. Why is no one doing anything? Now we're all like dazed and terrified and what have you. Jesus. Do your lightning thing. Oh wow.
Following your lead.
Yeah, this is not going well for my team.
18
Lightning
gotta
storm.
go down.
Do it.
Hey. Varathus!
Hey, we didn't all die. Amazing. Good work, everybody. Celebrate by camping. Half asleep, a tide of deafening whispers assails you, chipping away at your senses, and your mind's understanding of itself. Their roar is louder with each passing night, their attacks more brazen, less confined to your subconscious. A familiar voice fights its way through the din, calling out to you.
Hey! Hey! You gotta stop it with that. Just about punched you to snap you out of it. You're saying things, but they weren't any words I ever heard. You were shaking so hard I thought you'd crack your spine.
What would I do without a friend to punch me?
It was nice to feel needed. I'd evoke you sooner, but I thought it'd be nice for you to be able to close your eyes a bit. Folks don't last long without sleep. You're twitchy these days. Reminds me of Mayorwald more than I'd like. Anything I can do, you just let me know. We're close on this one. Hang on a little longer. We'll get you fixed. Hey.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way, friend. I don't know how I'm doing. So, Ghost Town, evidently. I'm gonna switch, when I get a chance, I'm gonna switch him, Alof, back to that ghost killing sword. I think it's really, yeah, I think it's really gonna come in handy now. Let's try switching that out. I have to be out of combat, of course. Yeah, flaming ghost killing sword. That'll do, sword. That'll do.
Of course.
Oh, more purple things to collect. Alright, some people tied up to a thing. Will-o-wisps and ghosts. Whoa, that is a lot of ghosts. Holy. Oh, he's confused. I can't use him. I see. Who the hell's Alof? Yeah, why are you being hurt, dude?
Yeah.
Gotta take better care of Alof.
Oh, Alof.
This isn't working. Yes?
This thing isn't doing the job.
Your work.
No, he can't get through there. Alright, fine, we'll just summon it right here. Man, these battles are intense. But not because they're difficult per se, but just because there's so many enemies. I'm gonna fall back so the dragon can get in there. It's a dragon. Why does it get blocked by line of sight? Like, it's so annoying.
Hey.
Hey, all. Maybe we can pick a target. Does his spells hit everything? Yeah, any in the area of effect. Cast some spells? Yeah, knock that specter down with rocks, I guess.
Huh?
Return to the priest! Parathis!
Yes?
Yeah, poison that specter. Okay. I don't need to camp again.
Hey.
Well, hey, at least I'm getting some great gear off these things.
Of course.
Nope. More purple stuff. Yoop. Might necklace? This necklace might come in handy? I'm sorry. That was terrible.
Huh? Hey.
Getting all that purple stuff. Kill ghosts, get perps.
Huh?
Also, rando mushrooms. Come on, shithead. Let's do this thing.
Leave it to me.
Oh, Jesus. Always Ayla. Always the first one to go. It's like I don't even get to use them. Like, they just jump in the middle of us and start wrecking them. I hate these things. I hate fighting shades. Mainly because you build the party according to the rules, and then they're just like, ah, never mind.
Hey.
Like, never mind the rules of the game. We don't really care about those that much.
Wait.
Here, just use your spells. No, it's on multi-target.
Can't move.
You're not getting through me.
Okay.
Huh?
Wait. Sailors,
Ayla, go away, dude. Just get the hell out of there.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, see, that was better. Sort of. Go up here and collect some more purple stuff. I'm not really sure what that purple stuff I'm collecting by walking near it is doing. Oh no, more creepy things happening. Ooh. Creepy burial zone. Ooh. It's so creepy, everybody. Is everybody suitably creeped out?
Hey.
Wait. Sailors, maybe.
Yeah, lightning.
Hey.
Yeah, where was it? Yeah, looting the dead. Oh, last blade of the White Forge. That sounds cool. Let's see what that's about. This one, let's see. Oh yeah, that looks like it might be better than the one I'm using now. Let's try it. Let's try it for a while.
Hey.
Oh, more souls to capture. Souls for the bird god. Yoop. Come along, Piglet. We've got souls to collect. So going up the stairs.
Huh? Of course.
Aha! A cutscene.
Another turn, Inquisitor. I ask again, Jovara Ixensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused?
He waits, but Iovara only stares straight ahead, her face stony, the creak of her restraint's the only sound.
Do you confess to apostasy?
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
Hardcore.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
I confess to opening my...
Ooh, opening minds.
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
Only my truth, then.
Another turn.
No! Wait! Wait! I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are ready to give a confession?
Oh, here it comes.
I am ready to hear one from you.
Theos shakes his head and points to the Inquisitor, and the scraping grind of rusted gears echoes in your mind as the apparitions fade away. Alright, so Johnny douchebag there. Every wrinkle and boil carved into Woodika's statue looks painfully familiar. Well, we all know what time it is. Time to jump into the pit, and what I can only assume is the final dungeon of the game. And so this is probably a great place for me to save. And to put a temporary end to our playthrough of Pillars. We'll continue on next time with the Pit of the Penitent and some dungeon crawling and some enemy smashing and I don't know, maybe the end of the game.